guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kari with Crochet Me Knots, and welcome back to my series Christmas Gift Ideas, and this is going to be episode number 5. So there's 4 other episodes. If you want to check those out, they are on my channel. Just click on the videos and go ahead and search for the Christmas Gift Ideas. Okay, so on today's tutorial, we're going to make this very simple wrist warmer or fingerless glove or whatever you want to call it. People call it by different names. It is super simple to make. It is a really nice gift idea, especially if you want to make a nice set with a hat and a scarf. This is a very simple stitch. We're going to be using the Trinity stitch, and it's very pretty. I did want to use, I went ahead and used 2 colors because I did want to make the stripes, and it is really pretty to make if you want to make the hat and the scarf. It goes by very fast, and it looks just like the star stitch, but this is much, much simpler to crochet. Okay, so this is very... I'm going to take my thumb ring off because it always gets caught for some reason. But it is very, very cute. It's just a really nice, simple little fingerless glove, little wrist warmer. Like me, sometimes my hands are cold and, you know, I'm messing with my phone and stuff. And I'm at home, but still this does warm up your hands, believe it or not. And, you know, you can still use your phone and such. But another cute idea that I thought is really cute, if you're making the sets, I've done this myself. I couldn't find my brown gloves, but I wanted to show you something really quick. So they use them kind of like a glove accessory because you're wearing your gloves, but maybe you're wearing your cute little hat set and your scarf. So you could just wear this right over the gloves, and it gives you like, hey, I'm wearing the whole set. So it's kind of just like a little added accessory, if you will. So just giving you a little idea. So what we are going to need for this is, I'm going to use 2 colors. I'm going to use what's left of this. So I am going to show you how to start and how to finish it. I do need to finish the second one to this. So I'm using this medium worsted weight yarn in these 2 colors. I believe this is the Yarn Bee low pill acrylic, and it is worsted weight. However, it's a little bit thicker, so it does call for a size 6 hook, but I am going to use a 5.5 millimeter, and we are going to need 2 sizes of hooks. We're going to need a 5.5, and we are going to need a 4.5. And the reason for that is because I do like to crochet the elastic part of this glove in a smaller hook size to make it a little more elastic and a little more close, a little more tightly crocheted. So that's why I like to go a hook size smaller for the elastic. So you can opt to do that. So that's what we're going to need. So you have your yarn, your 2 hook sizes. We do need a yarn needle and a pair of scissors. All right, guys, so let's get everything we need and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys. So for the purpose of the tutorial, just to show you how to get started, because I do have a finished, well, it's not finished, but then I will show you how to finish it off. Just to show you what the stitch is like and how to get started. I am not going to crochet the full amount of chains that I normally would to make this size. For this size, you need to start with a foundation chain of 30. So the way I came up with the 30 is you go ahead and measure your hand if you're making it for yourself or if you're making it for a child or someone else. I usually just tuck it right here by my thumb and measure around like so, which is going to be the thicker part of your hand, because your thumb is going to pop out through the little thumb hole that we're going to crochet, so you don't have to measure that. So just go ahead and measure right by your thumb and just measure, make sure it goes around. So chain your chain. This one was 30. I have bigger hands, so and also, like I said, I do like to make it a little bit not as fitted, because if you do want to wear it with the gloves, you don't want it to feel uncomfortable. So I do like to crochet it a little looser. That way it's comfortable to wear. So for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm not going to make the full 30. I'm just going to show you. So I'm just going to crochet about 12. So this is crocheted in a multiple of 2. So you need an even chain of an even number of chains. Okay, so I'm just going to do 10, but you should have your set number, whatever you're crocheting. A good size, 30 is a good size, I think, for an adult hand. And like I said, if you're just making it for a child, then just go ahead and measure their little hands and make sure that it goes around. Okay, so once you have your foundation chain, what we're going to do is we are going to crochet. We're going to work a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So just insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 2. And that is a single crochet. Okay, so the way we work the Trinity stitch is we're going to go right back. We're going to work 3 single crochets together. And the way we do that is we go right back into that same stitch you just came out of. And we're going to pull up a loop. We're going to jump on over to the next chain, insert our hook, pull up another loop, and then onto the next chain, insert our hook, and pull up a loop. So that leaves us with 4 loops on our chain. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through all 4. And that's how you crochet 3 single crochets together. And we're going to finish it off with a single crochet. Now try not to single crochet that little chain. I'm sorry, it's not a single crochet, it's a chain. Try not to make that chain too tight, because on our way back we do need to go into that chain 1 space, and if it's too tight it's going to be a little difficult. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we'll go right back into the same stitch, pull up a loop, go on to the next one, pull up a loop, next one, pull up another loop, 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. And continue. 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. Alright, so you're going to continue doing that all the way down. And then once we come to the end, on our final one, we have our 4 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through all 4. But on our final stitch, we are not going to chain 1. We're going to go right back into that same stitch and do a single crochet. And that's how we finish it off. So that's the way we keep that edge straight. So that's how you finish off each row. Okay, so now that we have our first row, we're going to chain 1 and we are going to turn. And we're going to go right back into that first stitch and pull up a loop. So you might need to turn this a little bit so you could see. And I'm just going to pull my hook out so you could see here. This is our, just made our single. Okay, so you can see the stitch part here. You see the two strands, the 2 loops of each stitch. So we're going to go into this one. So make sure you go through both. I'm sorry, no, we go into that same stitch, pull up a loop, then go into this one. Make sure you go through both, pull up a loop, and then go into the next one. That is our chain 1 that I hope you didn't do too tight. Go through both and pull up a loop. Now we have the 4 loops. We yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. Okay, we go back into that same stitch, then we go into the next one and into the next one. 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 1. So go ahead, keep going down all the way down, and then I'll come back and show you how we switch colors and finish off that row. Okay guys, so at the end here, it might not be too easy to see, but we have two stitches left, so you can see the 2 strands here and 2 strands here, so we have to go through both of those. So go back into your same stitch, pull up a loop, go through both here, pull up a loop, and then you might have to turn a little bit, but make sure you go through both at the end. There we go. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 4. Again, we're at the end, so we don't chain 1. We just go right back into the same stitch and single crochet. Okay, so if you're gonna make this one solid color, then you just chain 1 and keep going. However, I'm not, so I'm gonna switch colors, and this is how I like to switch colors. So before finishing that single crochet, I'm gonna stop when I have those 2 loops. You don't have to cut your yarn to switch colors for this project because we always end up on this side. So I'm just going to show you really quick how to maneuver this strand where you can hide it and make it a little bit cleaner. So go ahead and hold on to those 2 loops. So just put this down, don't cut, and then get your other color. Okay, so let me just pull this tight. So take your other color, and then we're going to finish it. So go ahead and take that second color. We're going to finish that single crochet and chain 1, and then we're going to turn. Okay, so this new color, I'm going to try and hide that. So I'm going to crochet that, hide it as I go. Okay, so this is what I mean. We have the color, this is the front part of the work. So we have this strand in the front. So what we need to do is make sure we hide it. So I'm going to tuck it back, and I am going to insert my hook into the first stitch. And I'm going to make sure that that strand is over my hook. So make sure that it's in the back there. And then just go ahead and single crochet, and then just go ahead and pull on that little strand, and that just tucked it back to the inside of the work, and that's what we want. That way it's not in the front. So you can just let this go, drop it, and then again I'm going to hide this one. So we go back into here, and then we move on. You can see that, and we continue. And you just continue that all the way down, and you come back, and just make sure you do that with that color to make sure that you have it coming out of the back and not the front. So we're going to continue all the way down. And again, you come to the end, you single crochet and chain 1 and turn. So we're going to continue doing that, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Alright, so this is what it looks like once you're done. We're going to make a total of 16 rows if you're making this for an adult. So that means you're going to have 8 of these colored stripes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's a total of 16 rows. Each stripe is 2 rows. And the edges look pretty clean. And this is what I mean about the color in between when we switch. This is the front side, so you don't see the strands. And they're in the back here. So they're tucked away nice and clean. And that's what we want. So go ahead and keep crocheting until you have your 16 rows. If you're making it for a child, and I would suggest crochet and just measure it out, measure their little hand. It should be about, like, come to right at the wrist and then just have their little fingertips coming out. So that's what I would suggest the length would be. So adult size is 16 rows, and for a child maybe I would say about maybe 12. So it just depends on the size of their little hand. So just go and measure that out. Okay, so continue doing that, and then I'll be back to show you how we need to join these, and then what we need to do to make the little thumb up opening for the wrist warmer. Alright guys, so once you're done, we are going to end up on the wrong side, and that's fine. So go ahead and you can cut both your yarns. So what I've already done is I've fastened off my last color, and I cut the previous color, and I've already hidden my tail. So, but go ahead and leave it a long strand on the color you used last, because we're going to use that to join the two ends together. Okay, so now we need is take our yarn needle, and we're going to go ahead and thread our needle. I need to cut that end, horrible end. Okay. So go ahead and thread your needle, and we are going to join these two together. Okay, so we're on the inside, and this is the reverse. You can tell which one the front is because you see that little chain. It's like a little ridge in the front right at the bottom. That's where we started. So go ahead and just join them together. So just line up the stripes and try to line up the stitches best you can. We're going to try to just use the top little loops. That way this part doesn't feel too heavy or too thick. So just try to grab the loops that are up top. So don't go too far down so it doesn't get too thick. And then we're just going to whip stitch all the way down. And we're going to leave the thumb hole, which is right about the middle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when we get to about the third stripe, so I would say like 1, 2.5. Yeah, so about halfway here, we are going to start to, we're going to leave that open. So what I do is just separate these and then just kind of go weave it in and out all the way down to the top, which should be about 2.5 in. So 1 stripe, 2 stripes, so about there. So we're good. So we can leave the little thumb hole opening and then go back to just whip stitching it. Just take the top loops. Now these can be crocheted in the round, but I found it so much simpler to just make it across. Okay, so when we get to the top, I like to open it. That way I can see where I need to join these. There we go. That way it's nice and seamless. And then just go ahead and fasten that off. So make a little knot. And then we just cut it. And then we can go ahead and just hide it on the inside. So I will do that off camera. Then that gives you the little thumb hole in the middle. Okay, so now we need to crochet. I like to crochet a little rim around the outside. That way your thumb is not just hanging out. That way you have a little coverage on your thumb. Okay, so whatever color you choose to use, I'm going to go ahead and use a darker color. So let's take our hook. Okay, so for this, it's pretty much wherever we can fit our hook on the little, all the way around. That's probably best. So I'm just going to stick my hook in there. And I am going to pick up that strand and make a chain. And then go right back in the same space and single crochet. So we are going to single crochet all the way around that little opening. So again, wherever you can fit your hook, there's no wrong way. And just single crochet. And I'm going to try and hide that little tail as I go, which is challenging given that it's so tight. It's a tiny little opening. So just keep going. Single crochet. Wherever it allows you to fit that hook. Okay. I try to space them out as much as I can so it's not all together, but like I said, it's kind of take the best you can get here. Okay, and I've hidden that tail enough, so I'm just going to cut that. And just... It's the tricky part is that first row, because the second one's easy. You just single crochet into each single crochet, so not a big deal. So we're almost there. Okay, so we're coming up here on the end. Okay, so once we come to the end, just go ahead and slip stitch right onto the top of that first single crochet. Chain one, and then go back into the same stitch and single crochet, and then we just single crochet all the way around. And that's so much easier once okay. Sorry about that. I got tangled and my yarn got stuck around the leg of the table, so I had to stop. Okay, so we're coming on the end, and we're just going to do the 2 rounds. So single crochet all the way around, and then just join with a slip stitch at the top. There we go. Chain 1, and you can cut. There's a little thumb part. Okay, and now we could just hide that tail at the end. So we can go ahead and move on to our elastic. Okay, so we're going to go down to our 4.5 millimeter hook. And then you can choose which side you want to do. So if you want to do, you know, whatever side. This is in the middle, so it's not going to be a big issue. So I think, because this one, so that's going to be the top. So I am going to go down here. And I am going to join whatever color you choose to use for your elastic. So I am going to have to match my other. Okay. So I'm going to get creative here, and you don't have to do this, but I just noticed I have this little tail from where we joined. So I think I'm going to join to just make it a little secure. And just cut. So I just like to make a little knot to join the two. That way it's easier. Okay, so wherever we are going to insert our hook into the stitch, and we're going to grab that yarn, and we're going to chain 1. Actually, we need to make a chain of 7. So chain 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so here's your option. You can either do, if it's too much work to make the elastic, this is basically single crochets up and down, up and down, up and down. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. What I suggest you do is just single crochet several times around to kind of make a little wristband. So that's an option too if you want to go somewhere, you know, a little less of a hassle kind of option. But I think the elastic looks really nice, and it doesn't take long because it's not really a big project. So, okay, so once we have our 7 chains, we are going to single crochet into the second chain and on every chain all the way down. And that is going to leave us with 6 single crochets. I'm all stuffed up. Allergies this time of year, the fall, the dry leaves. Okay, so now we're at the bottom. So we are going to go, as you can see, that little loop is taken. So we're going to go into the next one. So go into the next stitch and slip stitch. And go into the next one and slip stitch. And flip our work. And then, like I said, we have 6 single crochets. So on the first single crochet, we're going to single crochet normally through both strands. And then for the rest, we are only going to use the front loop only. So we're going to do single crochets using the front loop only. And then when we get to the end, at the top one, I am going to go through both and just single crochet. If we only take one strand at the top, we're going to have a small little opening and it doesn't look very well. So chain 1 and we're going to turn. Again, the first one we crochet, single crochet, normal, regular. And then on this way back, we're going to use the back loop only. So we're going to be alternating front loop and back loops only. All the way down. And then we slip stitch into the next stitch. And into the next one. And turn your work, and you will repeat that. Again, first single, normal, and then we're going to do front loops only. So we are basically only using the loop that's on the inside of the wrist. So when you're crocheting the front, you're going to use the back loop, and then when you're crocheting on the inside, you're going to use the front loop. So just continue that. And remember, at the end, every single is going to be done through both loops. Chain one and go back down. Our first one's normal. And then we use the back loops. So just continue this all the way around. And I will be back to show you how to finish off our elastic and finish our wrist warmer. So just continue this all the way around, and I'll be back to show you how to finish it off. Alright guys, so I've come to the end of the elastic here. So I've just finished my last, so I need one more slip stitch. And then we are going to chain one. And then we are going to join this. So we're going to close it up. So just go ahead and line up your stitches so that we have all 4 strands. And we are just going to slip stitch through each of the stitches. So just slip stitch. Make sure you go through all 4 strands of your stitch and slip stitch. And then at the top, make sure you go through that one too. Here we go. You slip stitch and then just chain one to secure it, and you can cut. So we'll fasten off. Just pull it through. Pull it tight, and there you go. You can't see that. So now we can take our needle and just hide this on the inside. That is it, you guys. That is our little wrist warmer set. So it's really cute if you want to make this as a set with a scarf and a hat. It's really cute. So basically, you know, the Trinity stitch, you would do the same if you're making a scarf. It's crocheted in multiples of 2, so you always have to have an even number of chains. So just chain your foundation chain to whatever width you want the scarf to be, and then just follow the same pattern you followed for here. If you want to make different color stripes, or if you want to make it all in one solid color, it looks really nice either way. And then just crochet your amount of rows you want for your scarf. And for a hat, I would suggest you start this the same way increases for this. I've never actually worked them on the Trinity stitch, so I wouldn't know how to start the hat from the top to the bottom. But you can always do a hat from the bottom to the top and then just finish off with the elastic like we did here. So it would actually be pretty similar to what we did here. You would have, I would say, chain, I always start with a chain of about 72 for an adult size hat, and then just make as many rows as you need to have for, you know, enough for the size you're making, and then finish off with the elastic. So the only difference would be we wouldn't have the thumb hole for the hat, of course. We would still join it, and then we would have to cinch the top shut, and you can make a pom-pom or whatever. So that's just an idea, and it's really cute to give a little gift set for Christmas. So there you go, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure your notifications are on. Always check my description box in case there's any corrections or any notes I need to make regarding the video, and also for links to my Instagram and eBay store. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you on the next one. Be safe. Take care.